Sunny Side with Joyce on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Tick, says the clock. What we have to do today is worthy of note.
This is Sunny Side with Joyce, only on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info, the Sunny Side, and the time tells us it's 5 minutes past 1 p.m. My name's Joyce. You're listening to Nigeria Info. Okay, so I'm going to attempt a very sketchy summary of the person who's our guest this afternoon. His name's Leo Igwe, Mr. Leo Igwe. You would know him through the course of the show as a humanist, but we're going to attempt to penetrate his background a little bit because it gives you a somewhat sophisticated idea as to his labor. All right. He holds an MA in philosophy from the University of Calabar in Nigeria and a doctoral degree in religious studies from Germany. He is a board member of the Humanist Association of Nigeria. So now let's just get down to the heart of the matter. I find this one particularly interesting. Now, this is me not in any way deliberately trying to skip all the necessary information that I have before me, but by way of what's applicable in this very moment. We hear that Department of Study of Religious Islam, African publics and religious values at the University of Cape Town in 2001, and then a lecturer at the Central European University, Budapest 2023, summer school on magic and witchcraft. All right. So, well, yeah, it's a very lengthy CV, but we're just going to ask that. Oh, wait, I think it's also necessary that you hear that he is a guest lecturer, critical pedagogy. Pedagogy, pardon me, please. Why can't I hear you? Yeah. No, you have to speak into the microphone.
Okay. Right.
Critical pedagogy, yeah. What's that?
Just a way of teaching. Try to. How do we teach? How do we learn in our classrooms?
Okay.
I think he's committed to changing how we learn. There's this pattern whereby you think the teacher knows it all.
Yeah.
Students don't know anything.
Yeah.
So it's like a drop down. When you are teaching, you just are looking down at ignorant people. The teacher knows it.
Knows it all.
We are trying to challenge that pattern of teaching.
Brilliant.
Whereby students and teachers are co-learners and co-teachers.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is happening at the Nigerian Defense Academy, Kaduna.
Yes.
Look, I can't even tell you how necessary that is. One, I think, because it informs critical assessments of arguments.
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah,
brilliant.
The students can challenge the teachers. Yes, yes. Teachers are not this kind of authority. It's against authoritarian way of teaching.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you teach something, students can question you, students can challenge you, and all that. And of course, you can challenge students. So knowledge comes with not this kind of veneer of dogmatism. Yeah. When you teach people, you can also learn from them, and especially today. Because a lot of students are well ahead of their teachers in terms of information, in terms of knowledge.
Because of the internet.
Because of the internet.
Fantastic.
Yeah, because of the internet. Okay. So when you train the teacher knows it all, the student knows it all, it's actually a wrong way. We are just out of step.
Okay.
With what it should be the case.
Okay.
So that's exactly the essence.
I was of the opinion you're the founder of the Humanist Association, but your CV presents you as a board member.
Yes. I always try to
play
down.
How
on that.
Well, you need to see the CV and see how well he succeeded playing it down.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think a very good place to begin, and I think something all Nigerians can quickly relate to, would be the very recent news. But first, we have to go back in time. Nigerian atheist in 2020 was sentenced. No, in 2022, he was sentenced to 4 years in prison by high courts in northern Nigeria, Kano. It was said that then 37-year-old president of the Humanist Association of Nigeria pleaded guilty to all 18 charges and asked for leniency. He had been in detention since 2020, and only until this year did he come out. Now, you are the founder of the Humanist Association. I want to begin this conversation by having you tell us what is your religious persuasion or your faith inclination.
Okay, well, I think that there's this too much emphasis on religion and faith.
Okay.
Yes, there's too much emphasis on it in Nigeria. Okay? And that is where we are today. I've heard you talk about somebody called a pastor that's killed, and I know we're gonna discuss that at some point. But we have left the important thing. So first of all, I grew up in a village. I was born in a village in southeastern Nigeria, you know, and that was shortly after the Civil War. Okay, so I grew up just no electricity, no pipe bomb water. I would go, you know, and all that. But I started as an altar boy at the local church. Okay, from altar boy, I did an entrance exam and joined the seminary to train to become a Catholic priest. So I did my high school in a seminary. I did my philosophy. Then I was into theology. Then I said, okay, I've had enough, you know. So I left the training. So when I left the training, I didn't see religion as human enough. I see religion as exploitative.
Oh.
Yes, I see that religion, they don't tell us the truth.
Okay.
Yes, it tries by telling us not to question certain things that are questionable.
Okay.
Okay? They don't tell us, okay, you know, for instance, you want to see somebody. You shouldn't wait till you are dead. Yeah. Yeah. The idea of afterlife, for me, is a scam. Yes, they are exploiting it.
Even from your religious background, that's your view?
Yeah, that was my view. That was why I had to leave religion. Because don't be telling me, oh, for you to enjoy, you need to die. No, that's too much. You know, why should you die before you enjoy?
You were raised Catholic.
Yes, I was raised Catholic. I was trained to be a priest.
Oh, okay.
Yes, a Catholic priest. Okay. Now, I was training to be preaching this thing, but I wasn't convinced. Why should you postpone enjoyment till afterlife? Who does that? It's a scam. We are here. We should have the best of this one life. We should concentrate. And let me tell you, that is why this country is bleeding to death. Because we invest so much in telling people that the best of life is after is when they're dead. Who does that, for goodness sake? And meanwhile, the same people, when they get the visa, they'll go to countries that are well developed, that are trying to deploy their energy and intelligence to make this life heaven on earth. And now we pride ourselves. Oh, we are deeply religious. We are deeply this. We are deeply that. We're not deeply anything. We are spreading delusions. We are really denying ourselves rare opportunity of being alive.
Is it possible that the method, the pedagogy of the Catholic Church may have been erroneous in some sense, but not altogether false? Because here you were assuming that the entirety of it is false.
No. You see, you know, this argument will always take us back and forth, because I was invited. They said that kind of religion is the root of all evil. They want to make all these things in black and white. Now let me tell you, if they drop a little acid in a plate of rice, will you take it?
No.
Good, but it's a drop. But there's still rice in it. That's a problem. If they drop a little Dettol, you know, just a little into a cup of water, will you take it?
No.
Good. That's a problem. So the thing is that there is something in it. That was why Christopher Hitchens wrote a book. He says religion poisons everything. Yeah, and then I'm coming. No, hold on. I'm not saying we're not gonna go to that history, but I'm telling you, immediately you introduce it, it has a way of contaminating the message. I'm not telling you here that you can't do a lot of good work. I work with a lot. Some of my former colleagues are priests.
Okay.
Of course, I don't see eye to eye with them, you know, and all that. I'll tell you another story recently. But, you know, but what happens is that I still call them when I'm doing my work. There's something you didn't mention in my bio, which is very important to my work, which is advocacy for alleged witches.
I was going to ask you questions on that.
Okay, good. So,
but thank you for mentioning it.
Yeah. One of the things I do now is that when you persecute people in the name of religion, I go after you using the law. And do you know some of the people that help me do that? Priests. So what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say now is that let's get back to what we're talking about, the issue of religion as a whole. Okay? Yeah. So what happens is that when you bring somebody up in a situation whereby the person can't question those little poisons and sand in this thing, at the end of the day, the person will eat sand. Right. And if I give it to you, you will not take it.
You're right. Except that the pedagogy from your explanation is suggesting that. So here you're throwing away the baby on the bathwater.
No. That's the problem. That's the mistake you're making.
Because I'm making the mistake.
Yeah, you're making the mistake. Listen, it is important to say that this plate of rice there's sand in it. I'm not eating it.
Okay.
Can we begin to, make this thing? That is a position that is lacking in the other one.
Okay, because, I see how culture sips into religion. Culture.
Yeah.
The Nigerian culture sips into... In fact, the Nigerian culture has sipped into politics. Mm-hmm. So you see that until you redefine or reform both your comprehension, you may also find yourself in this quagmire where you think, well, all of this is bad. Mm-hmm. So I would question religion. But you're assuming that
Joyce, you're getting it wrong. You're getting it wrong. You see, what I'm saying is that it's just like when they say everyone is in the building, will you go in?
Well, I wouldn't, but there are people who have gone in.
Good, that's what I'm saying. So immediately we should declare that there is something wrong in it.
So we're just going to hold that thought. Okay. I think I'm going to have you back on the Lords of Logic because this needs to land somewhere.
Okay.
And here's the beauty of it, the beauty of your work, which is I find your persuasion to be very compelling. Very, very, the humanist aspect of it. So I want to go back to the Bala story. He got arrested because he blasphemed Islam. Give me your perspective as the founder of the organization. What did you see that was wrong done to this gentleman, both by the people and by the state?
Okay, first of all, why did I found the Humanist Association? Why did I start it?
Yeah.
When I left the seminary, that was 1994.
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't connect with the idea of a deity center because I cannot know who is deity. There are so many of them. I could only relate with the human being. And in the human being, you have the good, you have the bad. But you can easily point it out. You can easily, that is my problem. My problem is that you have the disposition to point out what you think is good or bad. But you have to first of all say, look, there's good and bad here mixed.
Okay.
Don't tell me not to question it. That's it. And this is the process of pointing those things out. We can now be able to separate the baby and the bathwater.
Okay.
But we must first of all say something is wrong with the water.
I totally agree with that.
And you should not shut down people for saying that something is wrong with the water.
So what was wrong with the way Bala was treated, which of course led to his arrest? What do you perceive was the mentality of society?
It is on the other side. There are people who think that they have the right to say what they think about their religion. And it is only their own that should be accepted and not others. So that is exactly the same thing we're also, because I used to tell people everything I'm doing is connected. Is it critical thinking? Is it critical pedagogy? All these things are connected.
Yeah.
And what is the center point? Humanity. That is for me what is sacrosanct there.
Okay.
Because it is beautiful to see human beings explore, live, and thrive. That is it. So anything that inhibits it, I will go against.
Okay.
I don't care whether you call it religion, you call it Islam, you call it Christianity, traditional religion,
cultural
or you
practices.
call it cultural practices, or you call it ideology, or even when you deploy atheism or humanism in your own understanding in a way that I don't agree, I'll tell you no, because in the humanist movement, you know what we say? We say we are like minds, but we are not like views.
Okay.
We may have different views because we come from different backgrounds. Like now, I come with training. Somebody trained to be a priest and all that. So sometimes I come with what might sound as a little bit aggressive.
Do you get it? I love your passion.
Do you get what I'm saying?
No,
you know why?
I love your
because
passion.
I went deep into the ocean
and I'm
coming from there.
I thoroughly comprehend your passion.
A lot of people didn't. So sometimes they say, oh yeah, you are too militant. I say, because I know how dangerous the religious package, if uncriticized, could be. It could be poisonous. It could be destructive to the individual and the society.
I would agree with you.
Back to Bala.
Okay.
What was wrong? What was wrong was the same thing. Okay, he made a post on Facebook, and some people said that was insulting. Not to them, but to the religion. Do you get it? To the religion, not to somebody who is alive. But apparently, by our word and knowledge, the person is not, and all that. And again, don't forget that you might say something is insulting to me. I'll come and say, forget it.
Yeah.
But now, their goal is that not only that they were angry, which sometimes you could, they want the person dead.
Yeah, so
denied this, only that. So immediately I get to that point, that's where I miss it. That's where you lose me completely. Because you think that because of what you believe, because you find something offensive, somebody should die. Come on, I can't see it's not matching.
Yeah.
So it is that mismatch in the case of Mubarak. By the way, I was following him, like I'm a part of the organization, so I spoke with him days before he was arrested.
Okay.
The threats were coming, and they contacted me. I called him, and he just told me that it would fizzle out.
Okay.
He never fizzled out. 3 days after that, we was this kind of boom. We got ourselves into something we were in for years. Okay, so that is it. So I stood up because I know very well that for us to live in a society that is progressive, for us to live in a tolerant society, for us to live in an an enlightening society, because you know what? New ideas are coming every day that will challenge the status quo. So for us to do that, we must allow people to express what they think, because they might be right, they might be wrong. And what is the best way to do it? Allow them to say it. It's only when they say it you will know whether they're right or wrong. Okay? So now, but not only that you don't say it, and if you say it, you will be killed. For me, that was where they lost me. I don't care what the religion is.
Okay, so my next question is about the position of Bala now.
Yeah.
We know how, on some matters, Islam is highly intolerant, given what we saw on social media, because I went through some posts and many people were saying, in fact, I read one and it goes something in the lines of, before his transferred from, I think, Kaduna to Kanu or Kanu to Kaduna, that he would be caught and beheaded.
Yeah. Exactly. We had it. I was also threatened, even myself.
I think I read a little backstory of yours. We need a documentary on your life. Is it possible that from Bala's position, and imagine that you were having a bird's eye view on Bala's position, is it tolerant? So in my head, I'm wondering, is this threshold gauging or is this provocative? Is it possible that something Bala said, or the way he said it, could have been deliberately aimed at being provocative? Or was he threshold gauging his religious, old friends to figure out how far he had to push them before he got to push back?
Yeah, you know what? Who defines the threshold?
Okay.
Who defines it? Some people have defined it, and they do not only define it for themselves, they define it for you. And that's where tyranny, dictatorship, they set it comes in. And any society that allows itself to go along these tyrannical or dictatorial thresholds will keep having the kind of problem. They will still having the problem we're having. But the thing is this: just like in my own case, I went through intensive religious upbringing. And apparently I rebelled against that.
Yeah.
Some people tell me I went from one extreme to another extreme, but let's leave that for now. So Bala had a very intense religious upbringing. And you know what is intense? When you are going through those things, open your eyes. Open your eyes. My eyes were open.
Open your eyes to what spectacular?
Open your eyes to the training. Don't blindly go through any training.
Oh, okay.
That's what I do. You open your eyes, you go through it, and you now understand it's a scam.
Okay, so this is why I need you on the Lords of Logic, because I think for him, so are you atheist by persuasion? Are you atheist, or you're a humanist and you haven't quite touched the soul of your religious conviction?
That's another thing.
You're not.
Listen.
Oh.
Atheist.
You're non-binary?
We're all atheists. There's no God here. We are all atheists.
Yeah, so now you're speaking for me, because some things are a phenomenon, some things are nominal. There you go. I just asked you a minute ago. I asked you about
because
Bala's position that could have been provocative, or maybe threshold gauging.
I'm trying to get us to have a very lively conversation.
We are having a lively conversation.
What happened? Oh, are you atheist? You're not atheist. Is there God here now?
Yes.
Where is it? What is it?
Yeah,
what is he doing? Listening to my conversation?
Yeah, but you see,
is he the one that opened the door?
It is nominal because it is not subject to human senses.
Then what are you using? Your human senses. You don't have. What are you using to track the God yourself?
No. It's independent of my human senses, and it can interact with me. It's like when you hear people talk about alien abductions. You don't think they're all crazy now, do you?
No. Listen, when you say alien abductions, how did you have access to alien abductions?
No. So I'm aware where this is supposed to be like a legal reference for what someone claims to be their truth.
You get it.
So what I thought would have been, or what I think is fair, is this tolerance for the other opinion. And I'm wondering whether Bala's position could have been provocative. And I'm not insisting that it is. I'm just saying that even for someone who would like to give up a religion and become irreligious or atheist, that he himself also has to demonstrate tolerance for the people who still believe.
No. But what do you mean by tolerance? Do you know? It was not. I think was it Karl Popper? I've forgotten, but I don't know the limits of tolerance. So now you tolerate intolerable. Okay, that's not tolerance.
Okay,
I get what I'm trying to say. Now, for instance, when you say, you know one thing, all my life I've been dealing with religion.
Oh, just a minute, we'll be back.
More talk, news, and sports after this. It's 2025. The biggest conversations are happening on Hot Facts.
If Mondo Bolo was genuinely interested in local government funds, would have protested to be cancelled.
Somebody's receiving 30,000 naira after serving the country for 5 years.
From the stories shaping Nigeria's future.
And he dumping my mood for that whenever people are clapping, he's praising singers when they ought to be telling him the truth.
I mean, he did not do any remarkable thing in your day, and you are celebrating corruption time.
To real-time feedback from you, the citizens.
There is propaganda. They can never make it work. I will not support that tax reform.
If NBS is turning out very fake data to us, because this data lacks empirical evidence.
We dig deep with the decision makers, hold the powerful accountable, and keep the conversation alive on social media. Join Mary Ann Okon every Monday to Friday, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. for the most interesting news and current affairs show on radio.
I'm so sorry. I hate it when people make assertions from very skewed and biased places.
Hard Facts on Nigeria Info 99.3. Let's talk.
For 3 decades, Chocolat Royale has been at the heart of your sweetest celebrations. From flaky croissants to decadent cakes, we've proudly served moments of joy, love, and togetherness. Here's to 30 years of baking with passion, creativity, and care. Made possible by you, our cherished customers. Thank you for letting us be a part of your lives, one delicious bite at a time. It's these moments that make the 30-year journey so meaningful. Whether it's a wedding cake, a warm loaf of bread, or a simple muffin shared with a friend, Chocolat Royale is about bringing people together. It's thanks to customers like you that we've been able to grow and evolve, striving to deliver the quality and service you deserve. Your feedback and encouragement inspires us to keep improving every day. Thank you for choosing us and for being a part of our community. We look forward to serving you for many more years to come.
Did you miss out on the I Beg to Differ online auditions? This is another opportunity to make history. On Saturday, January the 25th, the I Beg to Differ Secondary School Debate Auditions comes to life at the Nigeria Info Studio, 267A Etim Ian Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. Yes, I Beg to Differ Secondary School Debate Auditions hosts the very first outdoor auditions at our studio, right here in Victoria Island on Saturday, January 25th, time 8 a.m. This in-person audition is for secondary school students who missed the deadline of our online entry. If you've already entered the competition online, you don't have to come for the live audition. To register, visit www.nigeriainfo.fm to pick a topic for your live auditions. Click on the I Beg to Differ banner on the homepage. Carefully read the guidelines and choose a topic. Remember the date, Saturday, January 25th, time 8 a.m. Venue is Nigeria Info Studios, 267A Etim Ian Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. The debate of your life begins here. I Beg to Differ, the Tournament of Champions.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. You are on the sunny side. My name is Joyce. 29 minutes actually past 1 p.m. Our guest this afternoon, Mr. Leo Igwe. And I think it's honestly dissatisfactory to me to just refer to him singularly as a humanist, but for what time's worth and for the sake of conversation, we'll just leave it at that. Yes, but as the conversation goes, you can tell all the places his courage has been able to touch. And we're back. I'm back to, some questions for our guest this afternoon. And just before we go into witchcraft, I want to ask you, sir, you are of the belief that there is an aspect of religion that lacks humanity or is humane, and that probably is one of the life force fueling your advocacy work. Is that what this is?
Yes. But, before we get to that, religion has inspired a lot of people to do good.
Okay.
I can never take away that credit.
Okay.
It has inspired architectural excellence. Go to some of the churches or go to some of the mosques. It has inspired a lot of work of art in terms of music. Okay?
And literature.
Okay? Good. So, but what happens, like I told you, immediately you have some sand in a plate of rice. You just have to be careful. You
Yeah.
can't just let her take it.
Yeah.
You still have to be. So it is that attitude. That is really what, and that is exactly where I'm going to talk about. What is the sand in this plate of rice?
Let me ask you directly then. What is this sand, and how sandy is this plate of rice you keep referring to?
Okay, good. So now, listen. For instance, one of the things I do, first of all, is trying to support victims of witchcraft accusation. Okay. Victims of blasphemy accusation. These two. These are some of my major campaigns.
Areas of concerns. Oh.
Yes. Yeah, because I know very well that witchcraft accusation is virtually a death sentence. Immediately somebody is accused of being a witch, and the person is not even in a strong socio-cultural position. The person is going to be tortured, maltreated, and this thing is not just going on. This is going on as we speak here. So you are poor, you live in a rural community, you are a widow, or you might even be a widower, or but you are poor, living like that, and you are living very long. People are likely to accuse you, especially when something goes wrong, when young people die. And if you are not careful, they will eliminate you, get rid of you at the slightest opportunity. So that is the sand I noticed. Okay? Now, there's this feeling that religion makes people to be very kind. Religion can also make people to be cruel.
I never thought that it just makes people kind. Actually.
No. Yeah. A lot of people can go and give alms. If you go to streets, you give
in order to buy their salvation.
Buy their salvation. No. Like I said, I'm not interested in that. What happens afterwards?
Yeah.
But let's take it that a lot of people eat on Fridays because of they get the alms, or on Sundays
from the goodwill of others. Who are religiously persuaded.
Yeah, who are religiously persuaded. Okay, so I give it to them. Okay, forget about what happens next. So what I'm saying there is that it also helps them. It also makes them to, their conscience, they block it. They are not. They can be very wicked and cruel too, especially when they notice, as a result of their religious persuasion, that they are evil. You are possessed. You are demonic. Okay. And now, for me, as an atheist, let me now tell you, because you were asking me.
Finally, you give it to me. Okay.
Yeah, as an atheist, as an Satanist, as an devil, as an
the scientific position, irreligious.
Yeah. Okay. So put all the R's in all of them. Don't think it starts with God. Angel. And all that. So you don't get fascinated with the atheist one. Let us take it there. So,
okay.
So I don't think there is any active God or agent or out there in the supernatural.
Okay, I'm curious here, and pardon me for interrupting.
No.
Lagos, if you just tuned in, the topic is cultural practices, fetishism, and secularity or secularism in the modern age. Yeah. Your work has taken you through the different aspects or the verbal interpretation of whether it's religiosity or the religious nature of people, and then the cultural interface and how how culture informs human action, which for one now you have mentioned witchcraft. Yeah. Let me understand this observation of yours which you stand against. Is it predominantly against religion, or is it in an instance it also has to do with how culture is also interpreted? Because this whole witchcraft thing, I know that there is a religious narrative to it, but there is also black magic in it. And so I want to understand, are you also fighting that darkness, the one that emerges from witchcraft? And then all your interactions with witchcraft, who gave you a narrative, or what narratives did you come by, if it's not too much of a complex sentence?
Look.
You bother with that?
You're making a lot of distinctions of black magic. What's the difference between black magic and religion and God?
Because I'm trying to understand the role of culture. Because I mean, witchcraft has a root somewhere. So I'm trying to understand where it's coming from.
You know what? How we are socialized. Let's get on. How are we socialized? Because I asked myself, how did I even get to believe in this thing? When I was growing up. I was growing up in a community. They say you need to go to church. They tell you where to go. And in the evening, my parents will sometimes put us together. We need to pray. They had to teach you the prayer.
Yeah. So
they had to teach you the prayer. So what I'm saying there is that. Sorry, just give me a minute.
So because depending on, I'm gonna give you a minute, and let me just air my own thought while you're trying to collect yourself. Is it possible that if by someone's culture we have to be tolerant? I mean, if we have to be tolerant of religion, is it also possible that we have to be tolerant of cultural practices? In this instance, that says, "Suffer not a witch to live." And this time I'm not even quoting scripture, I'm saying culture. I'm wondering I'm wondering what you're encountering, and this is not, it's not a cornered question. Is
no, even if it is,
okay.
Even if it is,
okay,
please, just feel free to corner me, because this is my area. That's what I do for a living.
Okay,
please, you know, the thing is this. That's why I said, okay, now let me give you a typical example. Let me give you one example. We have it in Adamawa. Okay, so this woman, we're helping her, supporting her. She was married. And the wife, the former husband now, wanted to divorce her. Said another woman was in a vision that this very woman we are supporting now turned the face. That she was the second woman now said she was the original wife, but this one that the man later married, yeah. You know, now the victim.
Wife 1 and wife 2. How about
okay,
that?
yeah. Wife 1, yeah, was accused.
Okay. Of witchcraft.
Of accused. What was the accusation? Wife 2 came and said that she was the wife 1. But that wife 1 used magic
to deceive the guy.
Yeah, deceive the guy and turn the face away from her.
Okay.
You get it?
Yeah.
And for some reason, the man bought into it.
Okay.
And drove wife 1 away. Now wife 2 stepped in.
Yeah.
But the wife 1 could not support the children. The man did not allow her to do anything.
Yeah, no means. Okay.
You get it? I know. So had to brought the children to their father and their stepmother. That's wife 2.
Yeah.
Now they said maltreating them, that they also inherited what they call it, black magic or all that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
The evil spirit.
From their mom.
Yeah.
And of course, the first girl, about 8 years, they tied her up and she suffocated to death. This happened in Adamawa. Okay. Now, you know what I'm going to say. Joyce, you are here talking about theism. I'm living with clear case of murder. Clear case where people, when you ask them, what happened to this girl? They start saying, somebody said they used magic to turn the face. Take the person to the jail. Put the person behind bars first before we start talking about all this conversation. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I am dealing with practical situation. And what I do is that I allow this practical situation to be my guide, so that I don't, go on talking about, are you saying people who don't have black magic? If you have black magic, you use it to kill somebody, go to jail with your black magic. You believe in God, you kill somebody in the name of your God, go to jail. There's a case that I fell out with my old boys. Some of them are priests. What happened? A priest allegedly shot and killed a parishioner. During the night mass, New Year mass, because this parishioner threw what they call knockout or banger at him.
Oh, that was a few weeks ago, actually.
Yeah, exactly. I know the person. It was my contemporary. Okay, so the conversation came up on our WhatsApp group.
Your former priest WhatsApp group?
Yeah, former priest and quasi priest, because many of them never, they still want to go back. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because they were still mentally, even though they left the training, they were still mentally there.
Yeah.
So the thing came up. I was now asking them, what is a priest doing with a gun in a church? When he prays for people, the angels will protect you, and they will now give him money. Now they give him money, praying that angels will protect people. Then he will go and use this and buy a gun to protect himself. I said, does he really believe in his prayer and his God?
That happened in the East, right? In the
Southeast. Yeah, it happened in the East. Happened in nowhere.
What did they say was a prince's defense? Was it like IPOB trying to self-defend? Is that possible?
No, from what we heard, because in matters like this, one has to be very careful.
Exactly.
Yeah. What we heard was that, of course, there were some security issues around.
Okay, yeah, just thought to highlight that.
The priest went and brought a gun. Got a gun to protect himself.
Yeah.
Now, I was asking them, hey guys, we're on a platform here. Hold on a moment. What is a priest doing with a gun? Is it that a God cannot protect? They started coming with this kind of defense.
Different arguments, to defend priests.
Yeah, Joyce, you're also doing that kind of thing here too.
You're already accusing me. We barely had 1 hour together.
They get it. I know that. They were saying, but God could give you the knowledge and you could have find something to protect yourself. Use of your senses. I said, hey. Hold on, guy. You are a priest. You built a house for God. You believe your God is omnipotent. You believe that God can protect you. You believe that people should come and kneel down and you tell them, may the angels guide you. May they this blah, 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 blah. Then you went, they give you money, you went and bought a gun. And you couldn't even shoot right. You shot your parishioner.
Yeah.
Do you actually believe in the prayer you give out of it, or are you just there?
Yeah,
there's a conflict.
I get it. Yeah, I thoroughly get it.
Good. So what I do is I don't want to bother myself about existence of God and devil. When it happens, I said, look at it.
So you wait for the end to determine, or at least as an argument against what they say the means are. Because if the end is death, then your argument is this means that you claim is an ideology is probably faulty if this is the end.
Yes, well, you can frame it that way. I use cases, I use incidents to speak. I don't want to get into, some people will say, are you saying that there are no dark forces? Are you saying that? Just like when I challenge you here, so I said, you say, oh, there's God, I say, what is he doing here? So when you say there are dark forces, I need to know what you mean by dark forces. Where are they at work? So all this is we carry in our heads.
Well, we have not been able to interrogate that, and that was why I also said I'd like to have you on the Lords of Logic, because I'm trying to stay on the Bala case and your work as much as I can.
No problem.
I'm going to have you back, and then we can truly prove our comprehension of the availability or the presence of a God that we can't see or touch.
Yeah, and I'll get the ones that is residing here that day. I'm sure. Make sure you tell some of them who are at this studio to make sure they stay in the studio so that we interact. I don't want to get a little. I'm not into this speculation.
Oh, sure, absolutely. We're going to quickly go off on a break. Information we want to share with you. We'll come back. I have a few questions for my guest, Mr. Leo Igwe, and it's interesting. You can tell. We'll be right back.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, it has not been an easy few years, if we are being honest with ourselves, and inflation is soaring, tensions are rising, and you're probably ready to turn these challenges into opportunities. You're wary at this point, and just looking for how to turn your red to blue or green for that matter, and right your wrongs, or turn disadvantages into advantages. That is why you should get set for the Trade Like a Pro by FX Pro. Yes, this conference is holding on Saturday, January the 18th, 2025. I'm talking this weekend at the Ibis Hotel. Ibis is spelled IBIS. Ibis Hotel, number 23, Tony Street, Ikeja, Lagos. Starting at exactly 10 a.m. sharp. It is absolutely free, and it is your ticket to mastering the markets in the year 2025. If you missed out on it in 2024, you have no excuse this time around. I mean, this is the period of making New Year resolutions. You might as well start out with those New Year resolutions early, early to bed, early to rise. I don't know how that finishes, but you get what my point. Now, you're going to be joining top financial analysts like Wemi Olale and Chibueze Nwafo. Learn to diversify your portfolio, hedge against inflation, and trade like a pro, essentially. Plus, there'll be special gifts for those who make the early bird slot. Yes, if you apply early and you get in early, you will get special prizes. Yes, remember, it is free. Don't miss out. Text LAG to 0818-736-5559. That is 0818-736-5559. Do this right now to secure your spot. Remember, LAG to 0818-736-5559. Let's make 2025 your year of financial victory. Victory, not breakthrough. Victory.
Tick, says the clock. What we have to do today is worthy of note.
This is Sunny Side with Joyce, only on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
We're back. 99.3 Nigeria Info. At the sunny side, our guest, Mr. Leo Igwe. He is the founder of the Humanitarian Association of Nigeria, and his work just spreads across, as you have heard, much that has to do with the saving of humans from what is now the blurred lines between culture and religion. Sarah, let me ask you, I think we should go to fetishism. So in my view, I've heard people who go to church also go to the house of the herbalist. And I've heard instances where they say, well, we go to church on Sunday for something lack of something better to do. And then, on a Monday night, we go pay the herbalist a visit, and we pretty much just merge both powers together to defend ourselves. And I'm thinking that a mind as that is going to have to conflate this world. I know that they are different, this world and that world. And one thing that has emerged. Oh, you say no?
No, they're not different.
Oh, they're the same?
Yeah, just like Coke and Pepsi. It's Coke and Pepsi. You see, they're not different. Listen.
Okay.
It does not matter whether you go. That's the issue. We have been made
to think that they are different.
We have made that, and that's where the mistake. That's the mistake we have made. And until we get rid of that, we're wasting our time.
Okay, so
that's different.
Okay, so this fetishism thing, this whole witchcraft mentality, how have you been able to interpret the way these people interpret reasons for witchcraft and how they come about determining who's a witch or who's a wizard?
Well, like I said, I'll just take you to a typical case, okay? When somebody dies, now we have a case in Cross River. People were riding motorbike in the night. They had no, what they call headlight, you know that. And of course, you know what will happen. These are village parts and all that. So they had an accident and died. Okay? So they now had to go. They said they had to go to consult people. That is it. Can you see? That's where they have made a mistake. They have moved away. Somebody died. When somebody died, go and use the basic things to know whether the pulse, everything is there. If the person is
like
dead,
an
the person
autopsy.
is dead.
Okay. So you're more persuaded by science. I was going through your Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
They say your focus is on rationalism, scientific skepticism, and secular ethics, and of course human rights and liberal democracy.
Yeah. You see these labels, Joyce. You know they have a way of these labels. Have I mentioned it? This while I'm talking. Have I mentioned these things?
Oh wow.
Good. You are the one putting labels. As I was coming here, a classmate of mine will come and said, "Oh, you are thinking like NATO." I said, "What is NATO?"
You must pardon me. I wanted to understand because I have never met you before. So I wanted to understand your persuasions, like what's informing
I want to be provocative.
Okay, so please go ahead.
Just to get you, the conversation
riled up.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? You know, I have not used these words. I said I went to a village, somebody died. And when somebody died as a result of motor accident, first of all, you are driving motorbike in the night, you don't have headlight, you already want to die.
Okay, or you want to kill someone.
Or you want to kill someone.
Yeah.
So you don't need to be a prophet. That's what I'm telling you. You don't need a prophet. Prophets came and they will be prying on uncertainty.
Okay.
They come to take advantage of something and be paid for charlatanism. Because what they're prophesying to you is something that anybody can actually tell you that this is going to happen. Okay. Now, what happened? They went somewhere and they now told them. So listen to how this moved. Now they went somewhere and they now told them that there's some people in the community.
Yeah.
So this elderly woman came. The daughter not around and all that. She just came to farm and all that. So they say she was among the people. They dragged her out, beat her to death at the shrine. Okay? At a shrine. Yes, at a shrine. Now, what am I trying to say? So I now use number one is that what do? Arrest those people, level up that place they're calling shrine, just level it up. It's a criminal sin.
Okay.
Treat it as a criminal sin. It does not matter what they call it. Okay? So religion has given us sometimes a label that we use to violate ourselves.
But you also infringe on culture in a sense.
That's what I'm saying. But if you commit a crime in the name of culture, you answer for it.
Perfect. I just wanted to be sure that your skepticism is also, that I understand it.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the persecutions you've gone through yourself, because a skeptic as yourself, you are going to be confronted with... First of all, people could just hate you for looking the way you do. But, there are probably better reasons to hate what you do, because you come against religion and you come against... you're a skeptic, so you come against culture. You come against beliefs that are blood-rooted.
Yeah.
So what are some of the challenges you faced?
Many. Let me just start with the last one now was that Facebook has just deleted my account because they said some people flagged some of my posts.
That you were provocative.
Provocative or community standards and all that. And I have written them. How do you define community standards?
Oh, Facebook.
Yeah. Do you get it? So this just happened on Friday, on Friday.
Oh.
Okay, good. And back about 2 weeks ago, over a week ago, then my class old boys who have a WhatsApp platform.
Yeah.
They removed me from the WhatsApp platform.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Even your friends don't like you.
Yeah. They don't like me. They don't like me. Because you know why? Many of them are still thinking as if we're in secondary school. Their minds.
Okay.
When you have they have not met me for about 30, 40 years now. And they'll still be describing me the way they were seeing me
back in the day.
Back in the days.
Okay.
Some of them are, in terms of mentality, they're still thinking.
They're narrow-minded.
Yeah, very narrow-minded and trapped. They're trapped in the mind warp of secondary school.
Okay.
Do you get it? So another. So when we bring up issues for discussions, like the way we are doing exchange, no, they don't want to hear from me. They think you have to say anything like a Catholic. And listen, these guys are not Catholic. By my understanding of being a Catholic, I know that when I'm, you say I've come.
No, because there are people who can pose, people who posture. Yeah. They virtue signal as something, but they're really not that.
Now, even that they made, in fact, very insightful, violent statement, even on the platform against me.
I can imagine.
Just because I challenged their position, I said, hey guys, you are still thinking like infants. Do you get it? And I'm not here. I will not be there. Like if you see the brief interaction we have had, there are things you tell me, you are wasting my intellectual power. You're wasting my intellectual energy.
But that's not what you think of our date this afternoon.
No.
Okay.
You are provocative. I mean, you can see that how I'm vibrating. You are really, you're making it worth my time. Yeah. So I will go there. They will. Okay, now let me give you one example. One of them was one of them posted a video where they said Jesus commanded the devil to come out of a tree. Mm-hmm. Oh, I got pissed off. I couldn't sleep that night. Because you know why? In my community, they burned down a person's house because of that. Because they brought this priest. Many of them are just idle. They don't know what to do. He was praying in the community, and they were going around pointing at trees. Yeah. They said the devil or the demons were operating from this tree, and immediately he points at any particular tree, they cut down the tree without caring who owns it. Can you see where religion brings harm into a community? Okay. Good. Now, they did it in the case of this man. The man came back, and in the course of the altercation, tried to shoot gun to scare people away, and maybe they alleged that he had killed somebody and burned down the house. Meanwhile, he didn't kill anybody. You get it? But he shot gun to scare people away. That kind of thing. Okay. So, from that little thing, this is what religion does. It comes in like a little. That's why I told you, when you put a little acid, a little detergent in your water, don't drink it. That is the thing. So immediately came, they burned that, and this man didn't because he lived for years. That's what draws attention. There are a place where religion is causing a lot of havoc, and we as human beings should step in and make sure that we define these limits. But they don't want it.
Okay, so I agree with you, except that now you have forced another question, which is, the position of testimony. Yes. So I can thoroughly understand the spilling of blood, and how even God himself would not even tolerate that. Yeah. Right? But if a people look, it's okay. I'm gonna have you back. It's all right. Believe me. You see, I've been very tolerant of your positions as much as I don't like half of it. But I'm hoping you can manage me saying something.
I'm managing you.
Good.
I'm managing you, Joyce. I'm managing you. So, and that was why I didn't say anything. I was just shaking my head.
Well, that was a lot you said. Okay, so I was wondering the place of testimony, because people can agree. I can also see how ignorance can also play, because a people can agree that something is bad, and based on the testimony of 2 or 3 persons, look, I'm just thinking out loud here, based on the testimony of 2 or 3 persons, then the priest can say, well, this is bad or it's evil for us. And I know you don't believe in evil. We'll talk about your skepticism at a different time. But because a community builds itself on something, and there's a reason people cohabit. Fundamentally, they're cohabiting for a singular objective or a collective view. It's a social consciousness. And people are coming from somewhere. I can understand you're trying to bring a kind of light into the darkness, but we cannot totally disregard everything that binds a people together. That's what I'm thinking.
You know what, Joyce? We will disagree to agree. I don't know why you hear that kind of expression. As far as I'm concerned, that's what I'm making sense. But I just want to make sure that our listeners, have also the word in terms of, getting to it. But I know it. You see, listen, I'm not saying that I am. You know what? Okay, now let me tell you about a month ago. On one of the WhatsApp platforms, they feel I'm still there, but silent, quiet. I don't. So
they don't throw you out.
So this is my own community. They just told me about one woman, a widow. Somebody came in the night, beat the woman to death, cut off the private part and the distance. And it's connected with something I think your discussion we're having here, which is another basket of
altogether.
Altogether.
So, hold your breath. I beg you.
Okay.
Lagos, we're going to go off on a break. I have to play some commercials. We'll be right back. We're Nigeria Info you on the sunny side. My name's Joyce. Our guest is Mr. Leo Igwe. And someone says, your guest is very convincing, but I refuse to believe him. We'll be right back.
Info will be right back.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on these websites: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call CBN 0817-665-7060, 0707-338-4828, SEC 0209-462-1168. Announcer, FSRCC.
It's 2025. The biggest conversations are happening on Hard Facts.
If Modo Gwebolo was genuinely interested in local government funds, would have protested to be cancelled.
Somebody is receiving 30,000 naira after serving the country for 5 years.
From the stories shaping Nigeria's future.
And he dumping my mood for that whenever people are clapping, he's praise singers when they ought to be telling him the truth.
And he did not do any remarkable thing in your state, and you are celebrating corruption time.
To real-time feedback from you, the citizens.
There is propaganda. They can never make it work. I will not support that tax reform. If NBS is turning out very fake data to us, because this data lacks empirical evidence.
We dig deep with the decision makers, hold the powerful accountable, and keep the conversation alive on social media. Join Mary Ann Okon every Monday to Friday, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. for the most interesting news and current affairs show on radio.
I'm so sorry. I hate it when people make assertions from very skewed and biased places.
Hard Facts on Nigeria Info 99.3. Let's talk.
Welcome back to your #1 talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
Tick, says the clock. What we have to do today is worthy of note.
This is Sunny Side with Joyce, only on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info, the Sunny Side. And look, if you think this stretches you in many ways, particularly because it touches on your religion, and I have a skeptic in the studio, well, good afternoon to you. I would tell you to, we're all tolerating each other this afternoon. You're going to hear things you don't like. You're going to hear someone try to say, you're silly for believing. What's there to believe in? All right. So I have, I think, a number of questions for you, but I want to play this audio, and I think you're going to totally dismiss it, but I want to show you a vague idea. So okay. Lagos, let's replay this. We played it Monday, I think.
I mean, video today, Video today, Hi! Where they come? Where those people say they want to juju this year? And they tell me, say, juju, if you not get money, come on for juju matter. Juju not for people who get money. Okay, just imagine, pot when they here, they pass, may say maybe 200, and may say they're going to say one pot, may say maybe 10,000, if you not pass. Just calculate them. Hey! You see the reason why I enter 2025, I want my God stats. Because I know so who get money, not they do juju. Video now. I say, those states, the best place to do juju, like those states, don't be saying that math. The best place to do juju for this country, like those states. Video now. Evidence choke. Evidence choke. You know what? Video me. You know, go enter one place for this Edo State, one junction or two junction, main ports not there. Those state boys, the boys when you say they don't want you here for this 2025. As you go church for New Year wash for crossover. That's what some go take crossover for juju.
All right, we're gonna quickly go off on a break. We'll be right back here on the Sunny Side. My name is Joyce. We're Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info, working to bring you up to speed on today's events.
How do we get everybody on board? How do we convince people that COVID is real, that COVID is not a scam?
We have prominent Nigerians that have died from this COVID, and government has come out to say, yeah, that individual died from COVID. So why are people not believing that? Why would we lie?
When you just eat Gary a lot without adding other things, you can have problems with the eyes. Especially when Gary isn't properly processed.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
It's 2 o'clock.
The headline news on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Lagos, let's take a quick look at the headlines making the rounds this hour. Nigerians observe a moment of silence to honor the sacrifices of fallen heroes as President Tinubu emphasizes global collaboration as key to sustainable development. Southwest governors unite to tackle threats from Islamic State's West Africa province elements and bandits as opposition parties in Lagos call for an investigation into impeached Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, over fraud allegations made by his colleagues. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu denies involvement in the impeachment of Speaker Obasa. Lagos State Government launches the Eco Learners Initiative for WAEC and NECO candidates. UNILAG Vice Chancellor Professor Folashade Ogunshola celebrates as 76 females and 30 males earn first-class honors in 5 faculties for the 2023-2024 academic session. Managers of Lagos State government-owned broadcast stations prepare to meet with striking workers and assess the violence experienced on their premises while the National Assembly vows to complete electoral reforms ahead of this year's off-cycle elections. The Central Bank of Nigeria sanctions 9 deposit money banks for failing to dispense Naira notes via ATMs. Nigeria Customs Service records over 3,500 seizures in 2024 with a 100% increase in duty paid value. Indian Navy ship Tushil hosts flag officer commanding Western Naval Command Michael Owamen at a cocktail dinner. Cinematographer John Demps tops the list of highest grossing directors of photography for 2024 with the film Everybody Loves Jennifer. The Nigerian Navy detains crude oil cargo owned by General Hydrocarbons complying with court orders as the rift between Femi Otedola and Nduka Ogbagbena escalates and the police plan daily raids on criminal hideouts in the Federal Capital Territory. Those are the headlines. This is The Sunny Side with Joyce. You are listening to 99.3 Nigeria Info, and I am Yvonne Ohaifo. Thank you for your time, Lagos.
Quality talk.
Intelligent conversations.
Always interesting.
So engaging.
Sometimes even mind-boggling.
Nigeria Info. Ask everyone. Anyone.
The Sunny Side, 99.3 Nigeria Info, 3 minutes past 2 p.m. Our guest thinks witchcraft, religion, religious persuasions are all the same. So I just played a video of a young guy who, I've been to Edo State. I've been there once or twice. I can't remember. But you know, this thing about the part where he says there's no part of the state where you go and there's no calabash. Now, this is transgenerational. Whatever is culturally obtainable in Edo State is transgenerational. And so we have people who I think hold what you can regard as testimony of this belief. Okay, good. So now let's talk about cultural practices and fetishism. You are persuaded that, let me link it to rituals. Rituals for money. In fact, there was a time in the Nigerian movie industry where every movie was the movies that were hits were movies that practically demonstrated that the spilling of blood or the sacrificing of a person could, or at least held means by which you could enrich yourself. It's still a notion today. It may not be as culturally practiced today as it used to be back in the day, but once upon a time it was a thing. And if you're Igbo, hey, you know, you've heard the phrase Igbo lozu. Mm-hmm. And I remember my parents used to tease, you know, some of the guests who would come over and you know, my mom will say, "Oh, look at you, you're doing good," and blah 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 blah, and say "Ibolozu." So I remember one time I was asking my parents what the phrase meant, and so practically it was a just way to say that this person has killed a dead body, and the dead body has given them money, something in that line.
That's bullshit.
No, but I get it. But it was a social chant of a sort. There were people, Ezego, for example. We heard Ezego did blood, and I'm just really pointing this out as social references or indicators that suggest that there is a belief and maybe even evidence. And I'm not sure how you deliberately blindsided as a non-existent thing.
No, it's not blindsiding.
Oh,
no. Let me take you back to Edo State.
Okay.
I was in Edo State to support a victim of witchcraft accusation. That was in 2019. You know, we finished a conference where at the UNN where Christian students were protesting a conference on witchcraft. They said we're inviting witches to come to the university.
Even witches have association. No.
Oh, no, let's talk about that. Another one. So now I stopped over in Edo State to visit this woman in the village and all that, and they said that the place was very far, that I would do that the following day. So I checked into a hotel, and I was just, because anytime in the course of my research, anytime I want to get entertained, I go to a native doctor. Yes, they are entertainers. Yes, I have never seen people who lie that like all those native doctors. So I pity so many Nigerians because they go to them with something serious. Then they get exploited. Yes, that's what I did my field work in Ghana for information for my doctorate. Yes, for my doctorate, I did my field work in Ghana, and that's what I do when I have a break. When I want to have a break, I'll go to a native doctor, because if you want to see human beings in their stupidity, go to them and tell them you have a problem you don't have, and you see them they do incantation and divination and all that. So let me zoom in there. I was in Edo State, so I had this free time, so I had to talk to an Okada. I said, I was doing some sign that I want to visit this thing. He said, okay, that we should go. Because all those Okada people, they know where they are.
Oh, absolutely.
And somebody was saying, oh, they see ports here and there. You see churches here and there. You see churches. All those churches are also ports in a way. So when they're making a case that we are seeing ports here and there in those states, churches are also some ports. So let's put that aside. So I went. I'm here to provoke. So we went. So when we got there, immediately I know the notice we arrived. They started ringing some bells and things like that. And I was planning. So I had my camera and all that. I was struggling to cover and be so many things at the same time.
Yeah.
So I moved in. So when I moved in, and they told me, because whenever you get there, be intimidated, look like somebody who is shaking and all that. That's all you need to do. Look at it and make sure you have money. Don't go there without money. Look at it, otherwise you'll be in trouble. So that's where the people make you rich. Okay, good luck to you. So I went there. So I stepped in. They said I should remove my shoes. And I quickly removed my shoes. So they told me, okay. I said, okay. Well, I was like, okay, what? Because I play dumb.
Yeah.
Don't do as if you are intelligent. Don't even mention any degrry. Just do as if you are just an idiot when you get there. So they were like, money. I said, money for what? They say, that is consultancy. That I do consultation in hospital. Imagine, this is hot, stinking place. They were not having shirts, just Nick and all that sitting on the ground. So I said, how much? They said, 1,000. I said, no, I'll pay 500. I price it.
Oh,
I price it.
You're petty.
It's not petty. They are petty.
Okay, go ahead.
Look at it. So I'm using them to joke.
Yeah.
So I said 500. They say, that's why am I pricing this in 500 and all that? I said, yeah, that's how much I have. There was no place they wrote. They say, if you don't pay this, don't enter.
Yeah.
Then you just come in, somebody wants to collect 1,000 naira from you. For what?
Tax force.
Yeah, exactly. So now quickly, fast forward, I gave them the money. So he now used a left hand. To collect it. Left hand, rubbish. Hand is hand, whether you use left or right. But they have made Nigerians to understand that if you want to do something magical, maybe the left. He now picked it and put that. Then he asked me, he said, what is your name? I said, my name is Idris. Okay? I'm from Imo State. I'm sure you should understand. Immediately someone from Imo State tells you your name is Idris, there's something there. They didn't know. Because you know why? They're fools. They don't even understand anything. So they said, Idris. Sometimes in the course of the incantation, when they mention Idris, I'm like, who is Idris here? Do you get it?
Oh,
so they told me, fast forward, they told me that there were some ninth spirits at the backyard. He asked me, is he a plantain this year? I said, yes. I've not gone to my village for decades. I don't go there. So
Okay.
they say, is there any plantain orchard there? I say yes. Say yes to everything. They will do the incantation along that line. But you know why? They are ignorant and charlatans. So
Okay.
now, fast forward. They told me now they have to make some sacrifice. Now I came out. They showed me pots of life. That's where I'm fast forwarding to that.
Mm-hmm.
They came and showed me some pots. These are smelly things.
Mm.
You can't even start there. So they told me this one is 150, this one is 300, this one is 500,000. They give me the different prices of the distance and all that. And that immediately I do it, that anything I touch my hand, that money will start coming here. These are people exploiting your ignorance, exploiting your anxiety and desperation. We have allowed our society for these people to take over. We should be ashamed ourselves. I think we have failed ourselves. We have failed this society.
Why do you feel we have failed? If you were going to put that in a language, in what areas have we failed? Have we permitted the ignorance?
Good. Now, as a humanist,
okay.
As a humanist, one of the lines in our humanist manifesto is that no deity will save us. You save yourself. And you have to take personal responsibility. We believe that life starts, living starts, progress starts when you begin to say, I have caved into this. Somewhere I'm a part of this problem, and somewhere I will have to begin to be a part of the solution. That is the driver. It's not all about ideology. All this blah 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 you're reading on the Facebook or on my Wikipedia. This thing, they are putting grand narratives on things I'm doing. I feel that as a society we have a responsibility, and we have not been fulfilling it, and that is why young people who should be there now trying to monitor and see how we can tap into the sun, tap into energy, and see how we can combine energy from the sun and energy from the water and wind and turn it into battery. They sit down and they start telling you from that there are some night spirits in the plantain, whatever, in bedroom. The society allows that. You get it? Somehow, that's why that is my driver. Because you ask me, my own day is that I have a duty. Yes, because I have a feeling that being in this part of society, somehow, either by my silence, omission or commission, I am part of this problem. And this is what I said by extension to the larger society. We have to change our schools. We have to change students' upbringing. How do we bring students up? What do they do when they come back? I have a 13-year-old, I have a 5-year-old. They will come back, they watch cartoon. I say, if you keep watching cartoon, now cartoon you go chop later. Now cartoon you will be working in cartoon factory and all that. I allow them to open them up so that they can think. And they get indoctrinated. We get socially indoctrinated. And that is why many of them, like what we're hearing in the news, you think juju. What is juju? Like that video you played, what is juju? Who told that person what juju is? Who told the person the significance of juju?
If there's an article of faith, so if a person, so in my experience at Benin City, I think every home has a father, grandmother that has some connectivity to something beyond them. And so if there's an article of faith, and someone has told you that this is what our grandfathers served, and I don't have any proof. I'm telling you what is the account or testimony. Yeah. And so when you grow up in a home like that, or in a state as that, you don't know anything else. And in fact, many times the things that you subject to that which is from home or which is homegrown.
Good, Joyce. You think when I started this, I told you I was brought up in a village. I told you we had no electricity. My parents were living in a hut. You get it? So I want to tell you that typical village life. When we are going to, in the morning, we are going to the stream to fetch water. You'll be seeing this thing that said sacrifice.
Yeah.
They did in the night.
Yeah.
Okay? And all that. And you will try to avoid it. Sometimes you go to the stream. They say some people are worshiping Mami water. They will leave some egg and rice and this thing. From your accent, I know that you were not brought up in a typical village. So what you are talking about, it was part of me. I go back there and tell them, Omonna, my people, this is rubbish.
Okay.
Yes. And that's why I gave you an example of what happened in my village.
Yeah.
I work with them because I go back home today and I tell them this is the boundary. You get it? So even sorry to take your time.
No.
My father passed away in 2021.
Yeah.
Okay? Now they told me that the tradition is that the son doesn't accompany the corpse to the mortuary. I said rubbish. You are brought up in a narrative and you still want that narrative to guide you.
Okay. So you had mentioned something about critical thinking, and I really want to wind this down as much as I have more questions for you. But let me touch on something fundamental here. So, if I were to ignore our disagreements, I think you're driving here. Yeah. If I were to, momentarily ignore the things or the grounds upon which we disagree, you're driving critical thinking. You're insisting that. But I wish you didn't have a problem with faith, so that at least a person who would believe can critically interrogate his faith. But you just have a problem.
I don't have a problem with faith.
Oh, you don't have a problem with faith?
No. I have a problem with dogma. When you tell me I shouldn't question anything, and that dogmatic element goes with faith.
Okay.
So because of that, you think I have a problem with faith?
Okay.
No.
I thought, no, it's fine. I can take what you give me.
It could also be an ideology.
Yeah.
So some people say, oh, socialism is the way. I say, what do you mean by socialism? How does that translate? I want to be sure. When you are persuading me, I want to be sure I can question it. You need to convince me.
Yeah.
You get it? And faith doesn't go with that. It goes with indoctrination. It goes with dogmatization. It goes with authoritarianism. That is the issue I have.
You say, therefore, that the degradation in society is fundamentally the fault of dogma and a lack of human intelligence, or the use of human intelligence to attack dogma.
Yes, exactly. Because immediately you dogmatize either, you preserve bad ideas.
Yeah.
Maybe you dogmatize it. We can. Those ideas are preserved, whether they are right or wrong, and which is dangerous. That's that poison there. So I'm saying, like what we're saying here now. Somebody says juju. Ask the person, what does juju mean? Ask the person, what's the origin of the word juju? Juju, is it our language? No. Who called juju? And what was that thing they called juju, which we adopted?
I mean, we speak broken English, and we tend to have broken words for things.
Broken English was there after English, not before English.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there must be something before.
Your Igbo, what did they call it in Igbo land? Aroshi. What did they call that?
Aroshi, or even if you call it Aroshi, Aroshi is actually the way they have been translated. Sometimes chi or gone more. There are so many words. Do you get it? But now, because of the Christianization, they now use Christian labels
for pagan philosophy.
Yes, and degrading these beliefs. In other words, which is a quest to remove them and replace them with Christianity.
Which pretty much was exactly what Rome has been about. If you read the Roman history, says that the pagan religions didn't go away; they just transmutate the names of the pagan gods to the Christian iconography.
That's what happened. And there's what they call enculturation. Sometimes what they do is that they now have to take some of what you call traditional
and then culture it. Absolutely.
You get what I'm trying to say? Ooh. What is it? They're looking for relevance. They're looking for legitimacy. They want to take over.
Yeah.
It's all about that. But I'm not interested whether you want to take over or not. Whatever you are presenting, I need to be in the position to challenge it. Yeah. And don't tell me I should be killed. Back to Bala. If I'm
absolutely,
yes. If you say it for me, then I will deploy all civilized means, all strong words I can in a civilized way to make sure. Yeah, because you can't just. My life is as important as your life, and because you believed in something, you think that my life is not important. Then that thing you believe doesn't matter to me.
I can appreciate that. I can really appreciate that. Critical thinking in society.
Yes.
Where do we begin? Because I have a show called The Lords of Logic.
Yeah.
I'm underwhelmed sometimes, impressed other times. But I do agree with the approach to matters on critical grounds, to be persuaded even if the other person disagrees, but for people themselves to be persuaded. I think I'm of the opinion that a lot of things that people say that they believe, they are not even persuaded by what they claim to believe.
Yes.
So if there was a way out of the chaos, what would you suppose?
What do I suppose?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, there's a lot of hope. I'm sure.
Hallelujah. You didn't sound
Let me tell you, yeah, I sounded like that. You know why? Because I'm at home.
Okay.
I'm dealing with my people. Because sometimes when I discuss with some of my European friends, they say, Leo, are you sure you're going this? I say, are you telling me I'm going home? I'm going home. I will look into it. Even in my house, when they informed my parents that, I was now non-religious and atheist and all that, they called me. I sat down with my mom. I looked into her eyes and I told her so many things. She just wished me well. The same thing with my father. Do you get it? I sat my father down. I said, look at this, look at this, look at this. I can't take this. What am I saying? There's a lot of hope.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? But that hope will also be, do we buy into it? And that is why I have put my feet on the ground. I said, let's start with critical thinking. Our children are curious. They want to learn. But over the years, we numb their sense of curiosity.
And indoctrinate
them. And that's why this one is shouting, juju, juju. You know what I will do? I will set him on a critical thinking lesson and give him scholarship. Let him be. That guy on that video, if you ask me if I have my way, I'll just send him on a critical thinking training. Do you get it? And after a session or two, he will come back and say, sorry, I don't know what's juju. Because these are indoctrinations.
Yeah.
Okay? So we have to begin the process of introducing critical thinking as a subject in school. Because that's one of my campaigns.
Oh, so you want to talk real quick about your campaign? Because I also wanted to talk about your other campaign, Excellence.
Yeah?
I want to talk about that.
Okay, that one is controversial, but it's okay. The less controversial one is that, you know what is fascinating here? In our national policy on education, page 10, one of the goals of primary education is to foster scientific, critical, and reflective thinking. When I saw it, I'm like,
wow. Light bulb.
I'm like, wow. So the people who actually put together the policy, I guess they must have, a commission must have do cut and paste, and therefore they don't even know that it's there. Okay. But when I saw it, if you see the mark I made in it, and I carried it in around.
Okay.
I went to the school boards. I said, look at it, is here. What are the texts? We don't have even one text.
There's quantitative and verbal.
Good.
Yeah, quantitative and...
Good. We have quantitative and verbal. So I'm now trying to introduce critical reasoning to complement quantitative reasoning.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Now, good. Now, how do you step down critical reasoning? Because they talk about analytical thinking, logical thinking, accessible thinking. How do you step down to a child who is learning A for apple, B for baby, states and capital, and all that? So this was what took me. Let me tell you, it took me years. Okay. I keep playing with so many ideas of how to step it down until I arrived at what? Questioning. And what I call question storm.
Okay.
Question storm is all about, yes, allow children, reward children for questioning.
Okay.
See, hear, touch.
So are you making that a project, an objective?
Yes, I'm making a project an objective. So I started an NGO, Critical Thinking Social Empowerment Foundation. The goal is to lobby for the introduction of critical thinking as a subject in school, develop the materials, and have programs like this to tell guys, yes, the mess is there, but we can clean it. Because, we always devote a lot of time thinking about the mess. If you watch your interview, Nigeria is this, Nigeria is that, we are that and that and that. We need solutions. You get it? So part of what I'm trying to do is that I tell them, look at part of the solution. Okay? It will help not only in exam malpractices. Exam malpractice is fear of questions.
Exactly.
If children are trained to generate questions, they know the skills. So before the exam, they know already what the questions are going to be. They'll prepare along that line. Okay? So, and it will help in this memorization and all that. Yeah. And this idea that somebody comes, oh, it's juju. Who told you? You say, I watch it in the film. Huh? So you don't have brain. You don't use your brain to watch films. You watch that thing on the film. They tell you that in the church. They say it on the street. But you should be able to use your own mental faculty to question it. So if we have children who can question, who can interrogate ideas, who can challenge assumptions, they will be less disposed to doing what this so-called pastor did to the girlfriend. So that is where we are. But are people listening to me? No. Because they think that, somebody was telling me, but they will start questioning God. And immediately they reach that, they shut down. But they have forgotten that even science has not even stopped people from believing. Why should a subject that encourages you to question, you will still have to believe. But it might be possible that you may not believe as blindly as you used to. Now, if I can deliver this little to Nigerians as a light in this darkness, I'll be fulfilled. But if they resist it, that's fine. But I want to make sure that at least it's somewhere that I tried.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Leo Igwe, I've had a thorough interest, not just in the person, but even in the conversation that I've had with you this afternoon. Is very compelling, even though, we stand at two opposing ends. But I must say thank you so much, both for your time, to the conversation, and to the enlightenment you have brought to ask people to reconsider setting themselves free from indoctrination and approach the liberty to critically assess matters that may be social dogma, religious dogma, political dogma.
Yes.
Set yourself, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Look, I have to let you go. The telephone lines are ringing. And I know people want to ask you questions, but I guess I'm going to have you come back again.
Okay.
Maybe this time on the Lords of Logic, and I'll tell you what we're talking about, because it's really going to be God itself.
No.
Or the concept of it. No. Yeah, because I think I can pinch you in a few places.
No, don't worry. I'm fine. Honestly, I'm fine. Just have me. That's it. If you pinch me, I'll react.
Yeah.
I'll respond.
Thank you. At a later time, we'll talk about this excellence, which you say is very controversial. Yeah. But you can find his bio. It's on Wikipedia, and a number of videos. Particularly, there's a BBC documentary on witchcraft. You can Google that up. You can watch it, so you can have another idea as to what he does. But much of this is on YouTube, NigeriaInfo.fm. Thank you once again. Yeah. I really do appreciate, and the public does appreciate, your being here this afternoon.
It's my pleasure.
Lagos, we're off on a break. We'll be right back. My name's Joyce. We're Nigeria Info.
listening to your number one station for talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.